So behind bananas, apples are the most consumed fruit in the United States. People eat 28 pounds of fresh bananas every year, while they only eat 19 pounds of apples every year.
Oh yeah, I'm number one.
But the thing is that there's so many different ways to eat apples. You can have apple pie, apple juice, applesauce, that it comes up to 46 pounds of every year. So that makes apple number one.
Grandma, do you remember that time when...
In the 1600s, apples were brought to North America. Many of these apples were very bitter in taste, not like the sweet apples we enjoy today. Those bitter apples were perfect for cider. Cider was so popular that sometimes it was used to pay salaries, so instead of money, they received cider. It takes about 40 apples to make 1 gallon of apple cider. Many apples were crossbred, which has resulted in the delicious apples we enjoy today. There are over 100 apple varieties grown in the US. You may think of apples as only red, yellow, or green.
Wash, wash, wash your hands, fronts and backs and sides. Use warm water, not just cold, don't keep those germs alive. Hey!
Hi, my name is Megan and this is Emery, and today we are making applesauce. So for this homemade applesauce, all you need are apples, and you can get whatever color that you like, a little bit of water, maple syrup, or if you don't have maple syrup, you could do honey or agave, and then any other flavoring that you would like. So we're gonna do cinnamon today, but you could also do nutmeg or pumpkin spice. So we are going to start cutting the apples. You wanna help me cut? You're gonna help. So we're gonna show you fractions really quick. So when you cut an apple in half, this makes 2 halves. And when we put the halves together, we get a whole. Emery, do we wanna cut these in half too? Do you see the seeds? And then when we cut our halves into half, we get quarters. But when we put them all back together, look baby, we get a whole apple. So those are fractions today. That's some of our math. Okay, so now we just want to take out the center of the apple, the core part. We're gonna leave the skin on because you're gonna get double the fiber with the skin on the apple versus taking it off. And fiber is great to clean out our insides. You're just gonna cut them in little chunks, and you're gonna put them in a medium pot. Can you put the smaller chunks in this pot? Mama's gonna cut those. Can you put the smaller chunks in the pot? Thank you. Good job, look at you go. And then if you cut the apple the other way, we get what, Emery? Is it a star? Good job, you get a star. And that way, sometimes that's a little bit easier to cut. Thank you for your help. Oh yeah, around the core. Push down. Good job. After the apples have been chopped, we're gonna be now adding in the water, the maple syrup, and the cinnamon. And then now we're just gonna mix all the ingredients together before we put it on the stove. So just make sure it's all mixed together, and then you are going to put it on the stove on medium-low heat for about 30 minutes. We actually don't have a lid for this pan, so if you don't have a lid, you could use a metal or glass bowl. So we are gonna be using a metal bowl for the lid. If they're real tiny chopped up, the apples won't take as long to cook. If they're bigger chunks, they're gonna take a little bit longer. All right, so now it's been 30 minutes and the apples are really soft. I have a fork and I can easily mash them. And so now we're gonna put them in a separate bowl. Since I'm with her, the pan's really hot. And so since the bowl is cool, it's gonna be safer for her. Now we are gonna mash the applesauce with a potato masher, or you can do it with a fork. So we are gonna go ahead and mash it, and you, if you want it real chunky, you don't have to mash it very much. And if you want it thinner, you can really mash it a lot. Emery, you wanna help me? Good. All right, and that was our easy homemade applesauce. So here is our final product. Would you like to try it, Emery? Yeah. So cool.
Banana, they're fair. Let me go show you guys something real quick. So, watch this.
I don't get it. The apple floats, but a potato sinks?
It's because apples are made up of 25% air. So it's gonna float more than it will a potato. Now, we can do a little science experiment if you guys are ready.
Oh yeah.
All right, so here, take these. So we're gonna put different fruits and vegetables in this bowl, right? And if you think if it floats, put true, and if it sinks, put false. Sound good, guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let's first start off with mango. What do you guys think about it? You think it's sinking? Sinking? See? It sunk. You guys are right. Good
Yeah.
job. Now, let's try lemon. What do you guys think? Floats? It actually floats. Good job, guys. Good job. 2 for 2. All right, let's try this potato. I think you guys are right. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are right. Good job. And now, the last one is carrot. What do you guys think about this one? Think it floats? Let's try it. And you guys are right. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
This is a real easy science experiment that you can set up at home. Yeah!
The United States is the second largest apple producer worldwide. China is the #1 producer. There are 6 states that grow 85% of the U.S. apple crop: Washington, Michigan, New York, California, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Washington is the leader. I know those states are a long ways away from Oklahoma. The apples are shipped mainly by truck or train to here in Oklahoma. Did you know that even though we are not the top producing state, that you can still go apple picking here in Oklahoma? You can go to Porter, Oklahoma at Levacy Orchards. They have 10 acres of apples. They also grow peaches, watermelons, cantaloupes, pumpkins, gourds, tomatoes, and sweet corn. There are many delicious products and fresh produce to buy in their farm market. Let's learn more from Levacy Orchards.
With each apple, we kind of know a general time when it should be ready. And once we get about that time, our more experienced pickers, they go out and they'll pick a few apples and try them and try to figure out how ripe the apples are at that time, because every year the color could be just a little bit different on them. Here in Oklahoma, we don't always get the cold nights that are needed to get really pretty color on apples that you see like at the grocery store. In about mid-September, we normally get into Red Delicious and Golden Delicious season, which is when we start allowing pick your own again. When we have school tours in normal years, that's where we would let school children be picking apples, is in the Red Delicious. With our apples, we make apple butter, and we use some of the sweet and some of the tart apples for that. And then the Peach Barn, they use our apples to make apple pie filling with.
A fun for you activity. All you need is paper, paint, and an apple. First, have an adult help you cut the apple horizontally or side to side to show a star shape. Did you know apples are considered a fruit? What makes a fruit a fruit? A seed. Next, you can dip your apple in paint to make stamps, or just have fun finger painting.
You up for some competition?
Are you ready for me to win?
Okay, so basically we're gonna be starting from right here, and Dairy Fairy is gonna be holding up a red apple. When he switches to green, we're gonna sprint to those bowls back there and bob for apples, and whoever gets all the apples first wins. You up for that?
Oh yeah. Woo! I'm number 1. I beat you at your own game, Apple.
And that's it for apples. See you next time.